Hi, everyone. Hopefully you're doing well. This is Will. Thank you for stopping by. Please hit the like and the share button. Just wanted to give you an update of where I am. I'm starting to implement more SMART goals in terms of being specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. And this is just a recap. When I first started this process in January of 2024, I had one mortgage of $35,701 and some other debt. I fundamentally replaced all that debt with a line of credit. The mortgage that I replaced was at 6%. I replaced it with a HELOC at 10.25%. So that was about 4 to 5 percentage points more. And I've been just using velocity banking through work through it. My initial goal was to use the SMART goal process to do away with three mortgages and $160,000 in debt. I was able to only do away with one mortgage, but now my debt is at $160,000. The total HELOC itself and the debt that it eliminated was about 47,000. So that was two credit cards, a pledged loan, and this $35,000 mortgage and one automobile at 6,289. And I'll show you in a moment. Um, with the credit cards, and if you do velocity banking or any debt reduction, get you a little notebook. So I've had this notebook since December of 2023. So in terms of the mortgage that was replaced with the HELOC, I made 191 payments since May 1st of 2008. So I made 191 payments. I had 169 payments remaining. That 191 payments that I made came out to be 66,361, and that remained 58,717.36 and 169 payments. But what I did was just went ahead and took a line of credit and fundamentally replaced the 35,701 mortgage and some other debt at a higher interest rate. As of today, the HELOC sits at 43,928. Today's date, 11 19. Is it 19 today? What's today's date? 19. 2024. The interest rate started with the HELOC at 10.25. The rate has come down to 9.75, but the HELOC that I have can go from a low of 4% to a high of 18%, and I've already factored it in. So the bills that it actually replaced came out to probably $933. And if it goes up to 18% against me, then it'd be about 750 $50 still gives me about $250 in room in general. So yes, the HELOC can rise. So when you're putting your bills together, please consider what it can go to as the lowest, what it can go to as the highest, and seeing if it's something to do. This is not for entertainment purposes. These are my real numbers as I put them out there and for you to examine. One of the challenges that I said that has been ongoing with the HELOC, but thank God I was able to get it, has been I have five checks per month, but this is an investor HELOC that I put on my home in general. So the other primary HELOCs, if I was able to get one, would have been at a much lower interest rate in general. So yeah, that's what I wanted to do. And now I'm gonna share my screen briefly so you can see the things that I replaced it with. Again, started in 2023. These were my numbers and my debt in general. All of this debt was replaced by the $50,500 HELOC. So I had a mortgage of I had one mortgage, that's the one on the board, $35,700 dollars. I had a Chase automobile that was about $6,289. I had a Navy Federal pledge loan. I had a Bank of America credit card, had a Capital One credit card. They all total 46,930. There were about a 4.99% closing cost on this investor grade HELOC. So the difference between the 50,500, that was pretty much the cost. The closing fees, as you can see, was $2,360.94. There was a ACH wire fee. Really didn't know that up front, so that was a charge to me. Cash to me at the closing was $1,209.60 for a total of $50,519.50. Um, Although they gave me cash at closing, it was added into the HELOC. So really, I've been paying interest on top of the cash that was given to me. So these are just some of the lessons that I learned in terms of getting this particular HELOC. So if you can see on a monthly basis, payments, I was making about $443.79. The interest for the four items was $197.22. According to the last statement that I received for this 43,528, the interest for the month based on the average daily balance came up to $367.50. So this has been the lowest interest that I've paid so far for the $50,000 HELOC. And if you see the interest that I was paying for everything that it wiped out, it was 197.22. So I'm kind of closing in on that 367.50 minus 197.22. So I'm $170.28. So that's one of my markers that I've been looking at, or one of the metrics, and using the SMART goals. When I get down below the interest that I would have been paying on all these items, I think I'm doing a little good. And also, when I paid the mortgage off by itself, that saved $58,717.36. But the challenge is making sure that I pay this HELOC off within 30-year time frame. If I don't pay the HELOC off in a 30-year time frame, based on the 10.25, I think I end up paying $117,000 altogether. So I really want to pay down the interest on the HELOC and pay it down within the first 3 years, or refinance into another HELOC. Now, if you look at the monthly payments, let's look at the insurance. So on the mortgage that was replaced, I was paying $108 on insurance and $268 on the taxes and insurance. Since it's paid off, the house no longer has an escrow, and everything that I was paying monthly for the escrow, so that's about uh $376. It now sits in the HELOC on a monthly basis, so it's compounding, and that's helping me to bring down the principal and the balance, which are some of the principles and characteristics of doing velocity banking. The monthly payment on that mortgage by itself was $724.41. If you see all the items, the total monthly payment that I was paying out before the HELOC consolidated or wiped out the debt into a line of credit was $1,111.73. Currently, I'm only paying the interest, but every month I am dumping all of my financial resources into the home equity line of credit. That includes my monthly W-2 salary. That's going in, and that's about 3,500. Then other resources, I've already talked about the cash advance that I'm receiving from Navy Federal. That's 1,860 monthly. I used to get $300 from Walmart as a cash advance, no interest as long as I paid it off within 30 days. I'm still laminating on that. Sorry, Capital One and Bank of Capital One and Walmart went their separate ways. In addition to that, bringing in maybe 2175 and additional 100. All right. So all together, now this some of the money is will go back out as expenses, but on any given month, all the financial resources that I have, I dump into the HELOC. When it comes to my paycheck, hits the bank, I either go to the bank manually and take it out, or I send it over ACH, or I write myself a check. But I'm using my HELOC. I'm using my HELOC line of credit for my basically as a checking account. I write all the bills out of it. So this total here of all my financial resources, 1,860, 300, and that's the 300 is the last amount that I'm using from Walmart because again they separated from Capital One. So altogether, I'm putting in or running through the HELOC to bring down the principal, bring down the interest, but it still runs back up about 7,935 is running through the HELOC that's helping me pay down the principal and the interest, but I also pull it back out to pay bills. So far, that's what I have. I got the HELOC uh, May April the 9th, 2024, and it was initially at 50,000. I'm down to 43,000. The debt that was replaced for 47,000, and this amount would have been even lower, but I've been using the extra space that I've created to pay down some other debt. So, so I started with 12 credit cards, and now I'm down to 3 credit cards pretty much on my business side, and none of my debt is really showing on the personal side. So hopefully I'll start seeing my credit score go up in general. So I'm making the charges from one card in general, trying to pay it off, whatever I can. If I use the personal cards, I only put maybe $200 or $300 on them that I can pay them off in a month. So on the personal credit side, every month, that's zero. But I'm still carrying a debt on the business side in general. Um, this 43,528 is probably going to go up because I had to pay the taxes and insurance out of the HELOC for the property that was paid off, and the taxes was $3,100, insurance about 1,300. The taxes since I purchased this property are up probably around 300 to 350%. So yeah, that's one of the things of having a home, but because it's an investment property, I just write it off. I live in an apartment and I rent out all my properties and write it off through my business. All right. So if you're interested in reducing your debt, learning how to use a line of credit, HELOC, and also this may be considered an all-in-one mortgage. Now, you may hear that or a first lien mortgage in which a line of credit fundamentally replaces your mortgage. And that's what I fundamentally did. I took a line of credit, $50,500, and replaced the $35,701 mortgage, savings about $58,717. But I got to get this down in order to maintain the savings. All right, so if you're interested in seeing how you can use a HELOC, an all-in-one line of credit, reduce your debt, just hit me up through the my email or cell phone, and I'll be more than happy to work with you. And again, these are my real numbers, my real data point, not entertainment purposes. If you get some entertainment out of it, no, that's all and well, but I'm giving you real points, real data, and not fictitious number. Please hit the like button so more people can see this real world experience. Again, I'm a political economist. I'm not a certified planner, a lawyer, or a CPA. Thank you very much for stopping by. Have a great night. Bye bye, everyone.